You think this war is about Iran. Missiles, airstrikes, retaliation. That's what they show you. But if you look closer, this isn't just a war between countries. It's a war between systems. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Because what's happening right now isn't just conflict. It's control, being tested in real time. On February 28th, everything changed. A coordinated strike. The United States, Israel. Hundreds of attacks in hours. Targets weren't random. They hit leadership, infrastructure, military systems. Even Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, was killed in the opening wave. Wikipedia, 2. That wasn't just military. That was systemic disruption. Because when you remove leadership, you're not just attacking a person. You're trying to destabilize a structure. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. It didn't end anything. It escalated everything. Because Iran didn't just respond with force. It responded through systems. Missiles hit not just military bases, but energy infrastructure. Across the region, oil facilities, gas fields, shipping routes. And suddenly, the battlefield expanded beyond borders. Because when Iran threatens the Strait of Hormuz, it's not just targeting ships, it's targeting the global economy. And that's where the real war begins. Not on land, but through leverage. Because nearly a fifth of the world's oil flows through that single route. Disrupt it, and prices surge. Markets react, countries feel pressure. Even if they're not involved in the war, that's not coincidence, that's strategy. And it proves something most people ignore. Modern wars don't need to reach you directly to affect you completely. Gas prices rise, supply chains tighten, markets drop, and suddenly, you're part of the war, without ever stepping near it. That's the shift. Because both sides aren't just fighting each other. They're manipulating systems. The US and Israel targeted military networks, leadership chains, defense infrastructure. Iran targeted energy systems, shipping routes, regional stability. Different methods. Same objective. Control the system. Control the outcome. And while this is happening, there's another layer you don't see. Information, narratives, perception. One side claims victory, another denies weakness. Messages conflict, timelines shift. Even leaders send mixed signals about whether the war is ending or escalating. The Guardian, 3b.com. Because controlling perception is just as important as controlling territory. Because if you control what people believe, you control how they react. And reaction is power. Look deeper. Even the consequences tell the story. Oil prices spike, global markets shake, energy companies surge, supply chains destabilize. Some countries suffer, others profit. Because when systems move, someone always wins, and someone always pays. That's why this war matters beyond Iran. Because it's exposing the blueprint, the real rules, the real battlefield. And it's showing you something most people will never fully accept. You don't need to invade a country anymore to control its outcome. You control the systems it depends on, and everything else follows. That's why energy was targeted. That's why infrastructure matters. That's why this war spread beyond borders almost instantly. Because systems don't stay contained. They ripple, globally, financially, psychologically. And that's where you come in. Because while governments fight at the top, the effects hit the bottom. Your cost of living, your opportunities, your financial stability, all influenced by decisions you didn't make in a system you don't control, unless you understand it. And that's the difference. Most people watch this war as spectators. They see headlines, explosions, politics, but they miss the pattern, the system underneath, the real game being played. Because once you see it, this stops looking like a distant conflict and starts looking like a global shift, a test of how power operates now, not through occupation, but through disruption, not through borders, but through systems. And the uncomfortable truth is, this won't be the last time, because this is how modern wars scale. Faster, wider, deeper, less visible, but more impactful. So don't just ask, who's winning the war. Ask, who is controlling the system? Because that answer tells you everything. Not just about Iran, but about the future of power itself, and where you stand inside it. If this changed your perspective, subscribe, because the next video might change your life. This post premium. vbc.com/swt/tdin.com for 800 million 2026-event/2026-Iran-conflict. UTM source/chatgpt.com. This OTS://www.theguardian.com/US-news/2026/APR/01/Trump-Iran. War address White House. UTM source@gpt.com. We have all the cards. Trump says U.S. war on Iran nearing. This podcast is right at fatb.com. us:/www.atlanticcouncil.org/dispatches/experts react/how the world is responding to the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran.